Hi, everyone. Welcome to this introduction to the Mindful Espanol COC coaching program. As you know, my style of teaching is a bit different in the sense that for me it's so important that we have the right mindset in order to learn. Otherwise, we're just going to spend a lot of hours in front of the book, feeling frustrated, trying to remember words, memorizing, and nothing going through, feeling like we're wasting our time, our money, and our effort. So this video is a little bit about the things that I teach in other classes, more in the mindfulness rather than the Spanish, that I thought could be useful before you start to have, to take these things into account and understand that for this program to work, of course, we have to sit and learn Spanish, but there's also other things that we can do to make the process so much easier, and not just easier, enjoyable. And not only enjoyable, but so beneficial for other aspects of our lives. One of the experiences I'm finding with a lot of my students, because we work so much in confidence, we work on letting go of fear, shame, the fear of making mistakes, living in the moment, in the present, enjoying every breath, everything we do. I feel like that is super beneficial for them and helpful in life in general. I've seen a lot of transformations and a lot of good results, and they're still coming. So what I'm going to do is, sorry, I need to plug my computer. I can edit this off here. Okay, so this is a presentation that I did for my alkaline course, which is about nutrition. But of course, when it comes to health, mind health, physical health, emotional health, it's not just food, exercise, sunlight, water. It's a combo of everything. And when I teach the physical health of nutrition and exercise, I'm always taking the time to also understand the other aspects of the self, because we, three-dimensional, we have three aspects. We have many aspects, but they are three. They are the most important ones, which is body, mind, and spirit. And they all are so needed in order to succeed at anything in life. And having the three of them, bring them into awareness all the time, is what can really help us. You will see that along this course, I'm going to be asking you to identify your emotions when you're studying, to identify how you're feeling today, and to maximize the day that you're feeling good, and to really give yourself some kindness and rest when you need it. We're going to play so much with our emotions and also with our levels of energy, and we're going to use that to our advantage. Because the days that we are not feeling 100%, and we can notice that, and we can say, okay, today I'm going to slow down, I'm going to do things differently, I'm going to do what I can. You'll see that the day after you're going to bounce back even stronger, because your whole being is going to appreciate that you are reading the internal states and using that to your advantage. And of course, when you're feeling good and you have that mental clarity, we push through and go even farther. Okay, so I'll share you now this video. It's not a video, it's a presentation. Yes. Okay, let me just find the right page. We start here. No, we start here. The presentation is a lot to do with it has a lot to do with nutrition. That's another area of my expertise, but it also has to do with physical health in every way. And like I said before, mind, body, spirit, and the relationship of each one can open the path to achieve any goal, not just Spanish. But learning a language is something, it's an enormous task to take on if we're not prepared. But you'll see that as you prepare yourself and educate yourself on how your mind works, how your body works, how they relate to each other, then it opens the path to easy learning, to much easy learning. So we start with the relationship between body and mind, which is for us the most important one, the one we need to take most into account in the next couple of weeks. because there's this saying that the body is the subconscious mind, that the body knows everything that is always happening, and it knows about you, and it knows about other people, and it knows about everything, and it's always communicating with you, but it's not screaming at you, it's whispering it. It is screaming at you when you have gone so far to not listen. The body has to get sick in order for you to listen, and that is going too far. We don't want to get to that state. But even before, the body is communicating with you all the time, and it's by giving awareness, how we can see the point in the middle here, this awareness of the body, that we can truly make it happy, and with that open the path to massive volumes of energy, mental and physical, to health, to feeling great. And science today, not that we always need science, but science today knows that a happy person, a healthy person, can do anything, can learn anything. Is when we limit ourselves by not giving ourselves the best care we can, the learning and the achieving our goals in life becomes super difficult, super difficult. The part before in this presentation was all about nutrition. That is the alkaline way. This is what I teach. If you're interested in knowing more about that, please do ask me. And along this process, we can create a really good meal plan for you, if that's a part of it that you're interested in taking on as well. What I always tell people is that nutrition is, we're going to see it now here, how nutrition works with the body. Let me just take this off. See, I want to put it there. How nutrition works with the body, and how you are when you eat, basically. And in these next couple of weeks, as we do in this course, looking after your health is going to also have tremendous impact on your learning process. You'll see on the coaching program, I'm asking you to eat 3 walnuts a day at least. If you don't like them, ask me for recipes. We can find a way for you to enjoy them. But they have such a powerful, strong effect on our brains because of the fats they have and the omega-3s. And they're one of the most powerful foods that we can eat to empower our neurons and make our brains work well. So that's all the nutrition side of things that is there. Like I said, if you're interested in it, just let me know. We can chat about it. It has a lot to do with electric foods, which are alkaline foods, which have a pH of 7 or above. And a pH of 7 or above, what it does is help clean the mucus in the body. Acidic foods are very create mucus in your body. And mucus, as Dr. Sevi says, is one of the main causes of disease, any type of disease. Physically, of course, mucus everywhere starts clogging the body and creating cells to go the wrong way, not the healthy way, but also in the mind. But also in the mind, fats and mucus accumulate in the mind, and nowadays science is starting to really understand the connection between Alzheimer's, dementia, and diet. And so things that we avoid are processed food, sugars, refined oils, and all type of food that can give us cholesterol, that can make our body really slow. An alkaline environment is an environment free of mucus, unless the excess of mucus. Obviously, we need some in the body. It's healthy, we need it, but the excess of mucus is not there. And this is done with electric food, alkaline food, pH of 7 and above. Like I said, if you're interested on this, I can talk all day about it. But basically, we call them electric foods because they have the elements of nature. You are like a big lamp. You need this combustion to happen in you. The food you eat generates this combustion. So the more alkaline food you eat, the more electricity you have to move, to think, to run, to breathe. So choosing the right food has a tremendous impact. Also fights inflammation, and inflammation can be all over your body. And when you have inflammation, it makes it really hard to focus, really hard to feel good, to feel light. So that's the side of nutrition that I am always promoting. And I think that for learning a new language, as for anything new in your life, is very important. But let's move on to, I just want to, the brain. Let's understand a little bit of the brain, so we can create this communication. Because when I talk about mindfulness and doing all of this through mindfulness, people sometimes still need to understand what's the connection there, how meditating or how focusing my mind this way can help me learn something faster. It's not that it can help you learn something faster. It can open the path for things to just happen on their own. So you have two hemispheres. The thing is, our modern world has put so much into the left side of the brain, the male side of the brain, that we tend to forget that this side of the brain is merely kind of like catalogizing things, putting things into order. But where do these things come from? That this side of the brain is, administrating, is putting into nice organized files, because they came from somewhere. Okay. And that's what the right brain is everything that is not organized. See, the left side of the brain is conscious. It knows it exists. It knows it's working. It knows it's absorbing things. When you're learning math, when you're learning something new, hey, when you're looking at the time, when you're making a shopping list in your head, when you're organizing your day, that's your left brain. Here you can see here, logic skills, daily activities, language and grammar, which we need, right? Memory, analytic and detail, science, strategy, facts, words of songs. Like, I love learning songs. So I'm super heavy left brainer. And I've always been my whole life. But your right side is always pushing through to be acknowledged, for you to know that it's there. But the right side is unconscious. It doesn't know that it knows. It's the kind of consciousness that an animal may have. You understand? They know they're breathing somehow, but they don't know they know. They don't know that things are happening. They're not thinking about the whys or how things are happening. However, because it's a side that is not conscious, it's the side that holds the subconscious side. And the subconscious side we're going to see now is everything. It's everything you need to understand in order to change your habits and to get that left side working properly, working efficiently, working like a machine. Is the right side contains the left. The right side administrates the left, but it doesn't know it. The right side is subconscious, so it holds everything, all the knowledge that can possibly exist. Carl Jung called it the collective subconscious. It's your intuition. It's your sense of intuition. And this, when learning a language, is so important. You know why? Because most of the time, I'm sitting there with my students and I ask them a question and they're about to answer. And they go, and they stop and they think. And when they think, they overthink. And then they lost their answer. They start, doubting themselves and this and that. Most of the time, that first answer that they stop themselves from saying, that's the correct answer, because that's coming from the right side, from the collective subconscious that knows everything. Okay, fair enough. It's not going to be 100% the correct answer. It's not. Sometimes it's going to be the incorrect answer. But it's trusting your ability, trusting your intuition, what really counts, what really matters. Learning to say the answer, even if it's wrong. It's going to be wrong for a while, then it's going to be right. It's learning to trust your intuitive side, and that comes with the right brain. Let's see the list of things that the right brain is in charge of. Creativity, feelings, concentration, right? We have one side in charge of concentration, and photo memory, visual memory, and the other one in charge of the normal memory, analytical and reading memory. They're both so intertwined, so connected. But in most of us, they haven't acknowledged this relationship. They're not talking to each other. And the right brain side is offering a lot of answers. They're intuitive answers, in the moment answers, that the left is like, there's no way that's right. You couldn't know this. How would you know this if you'd never seen it before, or if you have a bad memory, or if you're too old to learn, or how could you possibly know this answer? The left side cannot see beyond the material, this side, the analytic, the right side is connected to everything. Is this Einstein called, the gray entanglement, the relativity? It's all connected. We know everything. The right side knows that, and it gives you the answer, and it gives it usually through your body, because it comes from within. It's not something you have to think about. It's not like what is the right answer? Should it be this one? Should it be that one? That is left side brain. The right side brain comes with answers from within. They come from the back of your head, and you're just like suddenly the aha moment, the light bulb moment, like, oh, I know this. You don't know how you know it. The right side is the side that when you sit down to write something, or to sing something, or to paint something, it just does. You don't have to think, right? It's all intuitive, connected to the deepest part of yourself. And it has so many good answers, but your left side doesn't trust it, doesn't trust. It's all that it is related to what you could call magic, how things happen. Oh, it must have been magic. The left side doesn't like that stuff. No. I want to know what you mean by magic, or by miracle, or by intuition, or by all of the things that I cannot analyze. I don't have data to prove. That's the left side. Right side believes in everything, knows everything, understands the things can be completely different than what they seem, and believes it and connects it all. Visualization, which is going to be one of the more important tools along this process. Visualize your goals. This is part of the meditation. Visualize and just create and hold the picture of yourself when you get up and when you go to bed. Just hold it. Imagination, active imagination, no daydreaming, but imagination, creating with your mind. Decision making, but the right decision making, the one intuitive, the one that comes from your body, because it knows how things make you feel. We overthink a decision so much. Or should I take this course, or should I go with that one, or this teacher, or that teacher? When if you sit down in silence, just hold the question in your head, not trying to answer it. No, thinking the pros and cons and this and that. No, just hold it in your head. And suddenly you feel it. You know what makes you feel good and what doesn't. You know what you want, but you have to listen to your body for that, to see how each choice makes you feel. Your body's communicating that to you. Multitasking, intuition, arts and rhythm, active listening skill, another skill that we're going to potentiate so much during this course, active listening. Because the left brain loves to get in the way of active listening. You are there and you are going to practice your Spanish with somebody, and you want to talk to them, your Spanish neighbor, at the shop, at an event. And you think like, okay, I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to show what I know, and I'm going to try my best. And then you're there in front of this person, and this person's talking. And your brain is like, oh my God, what did she say? What does that mean? Oh my God, I'm not going to understand. What if I respond wrong? What if I'm rude? What if this? What if that? That's your left brain. That's your left brain trying to, control so much. They loses control over everything. Active listening is to know that perhaps you won't have the right answer at the end of the conversation, that you will know everything. It's not focusing on the answer, but rather what is happening now, and listening actively without your mind talking back to you or making you lose track of what they're saying. It's just trying to really listen. And for that, in order to learn how to do that, we do have to practice. And the practice of meditation is so important. I know that for many of you taking this course, it may be difficult to start with this. It was for me years ago. I never forget the first time I meditated. I thought it was the most ridiculous thing I have ever done. The meditation said that at the end of it, you should feel like this warm thing on your head. And I was just like, oh, BS, like this is not happening for me. So I left it for a long time, and then I took it again. And I took some breathing techniques, and I took different types of meditation. So if the meditations that I am asking you to do, or the ones that you choose to do, are not working, that's fine. Because the first thing about meditation is it's not that it works, that you just find inner peace all of a sudden, but rather that shows you the state of your mind. It shows you where your mind is at. So you sit down and you want to be quiet. You want to meditate. You want to find inner peace. And suddenly all you find are these million voices going, blah, 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 and the other voice, the inner critic voice. We're going to talk about the inner critic. He's going, or she's going, you're never going to meditate. You were meant to keep your focus. Look, you lost it already. This is so hard. I'm never going to do this. This is not for me. That's the inner critic, which is not you. Don't identify with that voice. It's not you. It's your inner critic. So that happens. That happens. You start meditating and you find that you're full of inner noise and you never knew it. And you were going through your life and you were going shopping, you were going, to the movies, you were going for dinner, you were going to see your family. And those voices inside your head were always talking to you like that. And you thought you were peace, or you thought you were in the moment enjoying what was happening. You didn't know that you were inside there having these ridiculous conversations that don't add anything positive to your life, but rather just take you away from the moment, take you away from being actively present in the moment and absorbing everything that the now has to offer for you. And when we learn to meditate, we learn to do what is called vertical thinking rather than horizontal. Vertical thinking, that means that we are not neither in the future making plans or in the past, remembering and beating ourselves up for things that we didn't do good enough, or the things that happened to us back there. Meditation helps us come back to the present, be present, and that's vertical thinking. And when we do vertical thinking, when we're in the now, all possibilities open. There's nothing impossible in the now. It's when we are living in other states of times that we can really focus. And time is not expressed here, but time is also left brain. The left brain is, because it's the one that knows how to count and all of that, is the one that is in charge of measuring time. And the right side doesn't know time. The right side is like when they say the universe, everything is happening at once. So for the right side, they say it's in a perpetual now. It's always in the now. There's no past, present, or future. It's all happening in this moment, all of it. And that's when the possibility opens that maybe we can learn something that we already knew, or that somebody else knew, because it's connecting us to the collective subconscious. And slowly, it's not like we can open a door in our heads and all the knowledge in humanity is just suddenly going to pour through us. It's not going to happen like that, but it's going to happen that slowly it's going to drip through. Slowly it's going to come through all of this knowledge, and it's going to become easier and easier and easier to do. But we have to make the left side listen more to the right side, and we have to make the right side express itself more. And this is what we are going to do in the program, is try and empower the intuitive response, trying to empower the active listening and the visualization of what we want. All of the things, will save you hours of grammar and vocabulary. I can assure you that. There's no doubt. This is to be something that people started to talk about years ago, and now science is catching up, and there's no doubt anymore. This is like, for example, like training your body. I always put this example. If you are in my course, you probably have heard me say this before. If you go to the gym and you want to have a, you have a goal. I want to look like this, or I want to be able to be strong, or anything, any goal you have. And you decide to join the gym or have a personal trainer for like a coach. And what happens? You go once a week. And then maybe now it's, a holiday, so I may have to miss 1 or 2 classes. So that's once or twice a month. And then maybe, when I'm there this week, I'm not feeling great. So I'm just going to do less time. That goal you had, is it going to be achieved like that? The mind is the same. It's a muscle. It needs to be trained. It needs to be constantly, incentivized to do better. And it needs the hours of work as well, just as much as the body. So this is why I created this program, because I think in a space of 5 weeks, if you really focus and you put a mindset that we are going to do this in 5 weeks, and I'm just going to give it my best every day for 5 weeks, then you're going to see results. You can see results also doing 1 class a week for a year. Of course you will. I have students who just now doing the active listening exercises, they realized a year ago they wouldn't know, grasp 1 word of what I'm reading, and now they are able to follow it. But it's not the same results that you will see if you do every day for a small amount of time, because the brain just works. And this is something I was going to say. Learning a new task, anything new we want to learn, is very much left brain. It's the left brain that is in charge of learning new skills, new things. When we first start learning a new language, or learning anything, it feels really hard. Like we have to focus so much, and we have to put so much attention, and then we become tired, and then dizzy and all that. That's what happens when you learn a new skill. It takes nearly 100% of your left side brain. It's focused on it because it wants to get it. It wants to put all that information in order. And it's just like so focused into it that it exhausts itself. And then second time you do it, it's going to happen the same. Maybe a little less, but almost the same. But third time, same. Fourth time, a little less. And then as you keep doing it, the amount of brain activity the left side needs to use to focus on that new thing, it starts to shrink and shrink and shrink. And then when it shrinks enough, it moves to the right side. And that's a habit. And that is unmovable now, because that's in your subconscious mind. And when something is ingrained in the subconscious mind, nothing can change it. Nothing can change it. Only you can change it. So we have, in 5 weeks, you can truly shrink the amount of activity that it feels so difficult and so, that you can shrink it, move it to the right side. And what happened then? You learn how to study. Now you don't have to only be happy with learning Spanish. You can use this for other things. You can concentrate for much longer. Your memory has improved. Your visual memory has improved. Your intuition has improved. And that's going to help not just how you learn Spanish, but how you relate to people, your whole life, how you live. Making intuitive responses instead of overthinking. Especially, this is for everybody. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You have both sides and they are the same. But we women have the right side because we're females. An intuitive response can tend to be, in a way, easier to deal with. For men, maybe a bit harder. They may have to weigh every decision. They may have to overthink. They may have to understand the works of the language in detail in order to grasp it. Women may just try and put words together, because even if they say it wrong, it's an intuitive response. They don't need to have the whole thing. I'm not generalizing here. Men and women are very different. And I have been left brain. I was right brain my whole childhood. Most of children are mostly all right brain. And then society happened. and all of the things like, imagination, decision making, intuitive, art and rhythms that I love, creativity, you just go whoosh, cut off. Now you got to learn this stuff. Now you got to be logic. Now you have to have discipline. Now you have to do this. And I was a bit lost for a long time. I didn't realize that the both sides of me, they were meant to work together and help each other, were fighting with each other. Because the answers that the right brain was giving me, I was just like, no, you're being stupid. That can be right. That right? That can be right? I mean, it's the word right. It's written on it. What we have to call the left side, the wrong side. It's not wrong. It's just, it's this, I will say to you, is the secretary, is the assistant to the right side. It's very needed. You need someone to keep up with, if you have had a business or work in business, the administration is so important. Otherwise, everything collapses. Everything. You can have the greatest imagination and creativity, but you need administration, otherwise, and discipline. Otherwise, everything fails. But if you only have an administration side of things, if you have no creativity, if you're just like trying to piece your life in perfect order, then you also are not going to see great results. And on top of that, you're going to burn out. You have no joy in life, and everything feels like a horrible task. So both sides are so important. And a lot of the meditations and a lot of the work we do is to empower both in their own ways and together. Some of the breathing exercise to wake each side on their own, to feel each side on their own, activities for memory, but also for, imagination are very important, very important. A lot of my meditations are about active imagination. You have to imagine things. And what you can imagine, you can create. So we talked about the inner critic, right? Let's go now to the next slide. Yes, the lemon in the mind. What is that? Everybody looks at me like, what is that? Okay, the lemon in the mind. If I told you now, please close your eyes. Just relax, take a deep breath. And imagine in your mind, in your mind's eye, that you are licking a sour lemon. Just do it, imagine it. Feel your tongue going through that sharp, tangy, soury texture. So what happened to you when I say that? You probably cringe a little. You probably have your, saliva glands working, creating some saliva there. You get this chill all over your back. You know what lemon tastes like. You know how it feels in your body. But guess what? The lemon wasn't real. The lemon is in your mind. But the sensation was real, right? You felt it. You got the chills. You got the feeling of it. You almost tasted it in your mouth. The lemon is not real. It's an invention. But your body believed it. Unfortunately, whatever your mind says, your body experiences, whether it's real or not, it doesn't matter. And this is what talking about the feeling or the state of survival that we're in, of fly or fight and things like that. We are constantly on that stress mode, worrying about everything, worrying about absolutely everything. So much that we make it real. It's not real in the outside world, but it's real inside. And there's that voice called the inner critic that is talking inside your head right now. It's in all of us. It's in all of us. And I don't see it as something negative. It's not something you have to dislike about yourself or judge or condemn yourself on it. Rather, the inner critic is an opportunity to see where you are not truly loving and caring for yourself. Right? I always say to my students, if I made a mistake right now, let's say if I drop my glass of water, will you say to me, you're an idiot? You're always making stupid mistakes. You are stupid. Will you say that to me? Will you say that to anybody? Probably not. I don't think you would. Why do you say it to yourself? Why? Because it's a way we are taught, because we are left-sided in the brain, and because we have not been taught about how to properly have a healthy inner voice habits, how to properly look after our inner voices or our mental states the way we once have, we've learned how to look after our bodies or our health in other ways, in more physical ways. And I give this nutritional talk to everybody, and it's so beneficial and it's so enriching. But this is more important. This is more important. You know why? And you know how I know this? Because I've seen people who have had horrific diets. They have eaten nothing but steaks and whiskey and cigars every day of their life, living up to 90 and being happy and healthy. And then I've seen people who look after themselves to extremes, who have diabetes, who get cancer, who have heart attacks. Why? Because it's not what you eat. It's a factor, but it's not the only one. It's not how much you exercise. It's a factor, but it's not the only one. Because your mind creates your reality. So if your mind, even if you look after your body and you exercise and you do all of this stuff, but your mind is saying you're not good enough, you need to do more. It's not working. If you're pushing and it's not giving you joy, it's making you sick. So your mental state is the first thing to look after. And this is daily work that you have to do. For example, if you have a harsh inner critic voice that is all the time holding you to the things you didn't do, to guilt, to the things you could have done better, to the mistakes you make in the past, or to the lack of energy or passion you have today, there's a lot of things that you can do to make that voice shush. I always talk about my own experience with things. There's a lot of books and a lot of ways to do it. I talk about my own way, my own experience with things. I couldn't make that voice shush at first. I couldn't. I would just try so hard with meditation, and I would get lost, and I would come back to the left side of brain mind, criticizing, making plans, living in the future, or sort of thinking again, or in the past, and I just couldn't make a stop. So I made a pact that I wasn't going to try to stop the criticism, that I wasn't going to be able to fight this voice in my head because it was too powerful. So what I did was try to have another voice that will defend me and be kind to me and tell me kind things. And this it sounds crazy, I know, but it worked. Eventually, it just didn't need anything. Eventually, I was kind to myself. Eventually, when I made a mistake, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't the end of the world anymore. It took practice, a lot of practice. Another thing you can do in order to help your inner critic is to do mirror work, to look at yourself in the face in the mirror and talk to yourself kindly. Because sometimes, you look in the mirror to put makeup or to do your hair, but you don't look at yourself as a person. And the mirror can show you that you are a person. You forget about it inside your head. You're just a brain. You're just this experience. You forget you're a person. When you look at somebody else in the eyes, you wouldn't be mean to them. When you look at yourself in the eyes in the mirror, you remind yourself that there's a face there that you're talking to every day, even if you don't see it that often. The other people see it, right? So those are things we can do to better our inner dialogue. And when learning a language, our inner critic is like, I'm going to tear you down because you're trying to learn something new. And we don't like change on the left side of the brain. We like everything to be so tidy and perfect and spotless. And you're trying to do something very different, very uncomfortable. So I'm going to tear you down. That's what your inner critic says. And yes, it may be perceived as something negative, but in reality, in the end, when you achieve what you want to achieve, it's going to feel even better because you overcame not just the fact that you learn a new language, but the fact that you change the chemistry of your brain. Kind words, kind actions have the power to change the chemistry of your brain towards yourself or towards other people. It doesn't matter. It just sends new signals, new pathways. They help you be more positive. And positivity, you know, it strengthens your memory. It helps you creating endorphins, all of these hormones that make you feel good, they give you energy, they make you move. So if you don't know how to start improving yourself, start by quieting the voice inside your head or talking back to it and say, be kind to me. I'm trying my best. I'm a human being. I'm not a god. I'm not a magician. I'm a person. Just remind that. I remember once I was reading a book, an Osho book about meditation. And somebody asked a question that I had many times before. When you are meditating, you are meant to be blank mind, which is not so. Okay, there's no possibility of that, but that's what they say, be blank in your mind, or visualize, or affirm. And then your mind takes you away from that and you lose track of what you were doing. And I don't know about you, but for me, a lot of the time was like, oh, idiot, you did it again. Oh, you forgot again, you were meditating. Now you are thinking about, the water bill that you have to pay in a month, and now you're thinking about it now. So I will be unkind to myself. I will want to learn to meditate today and do it perfect. And I forgot the alchemical process is little by little. You don't cook a cake at 250 degrees Celsius in 5 minutes. No, a cake needs to cook slow, little by little. No, that is how you train your mind, little by little. But I was in this energy. I want to know now how to meditate. And I couldn't. And every time I couldn't, I would just sink deeper into this unkind way to speak to myself. But this book Osho said, somebody asked the same question, how I do it, how do I do it? How when I lose track of what I was reflecting about or this blank space that I was trying to create, I beat myself up so hard. And Osho said, his response was like, why would you be unkind to yourself when before you weren't even aware that you were drifting away, that you were somewhere else in your mind? Now you're trying, yes, you're drifting away still. And maybe you in a half an hour meditation, you have to bring yourself back 17, 20 times. But those are 20 times that you're coming back to yourself. Then maybe before you weren't. So celebrate yourself. Celebrate for coming back. Do not beat yourself up for losing track. It's training. It's going to take time. And that is one of the things. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate any little achievement. Don't focus on what you haven't done yet. Focus on what you've done. Judgment is the issue. Judgment of how much you should know now. Judgment of making a mistake is wrong. I forbid the word I'm sorry in my classes when somebody makes a mistake. There's nothing to be sorry about at all. At all. There's nothing to be sorry about. And there's everything to be excited about that you're trying. So that is the lemon in the mind, the placebo effect, how we talk to us. I can assure you that if you tell yourself you are a perfect Spanish student speaker, you will learn so much faster, so much faster. And this is another factor that I wanted to talk about, the gut and brain connection. Why? Because most of us are also under great amount of stress sometimes. And if it's not some stress in your life, then maybe stress from the news, from the world, for the things that are happening that you can control. So levels of stress are, all-time high right now, everywhere in the world. So about the inner critic is the same thing. The brain stresses out. This comes in connection with nutrition a lot, but also with mental state. You have this connection between your gut and your brain. They're neurons in your food conduct, your esophagus, and there are neurons in your stomach. So part of your brain comes down into your digestive system. That's why when stress, digestive issues are always stress issues. Why is that? Because you need certain hormones. Hormones are like these liquid things that go around and make everything happen for you. Everything. Did you ever wonder what a hormone's made of? What are they made of? Well, they're made of food, of course. They're made of nutrients that you eat. My stomach just rumbled, so talking to me like, yeah, you're right. The food you eat. When I say food, I may be hungry. And what happens is there are some hormones that are in place when you get stressed. Cortisol is the most important one. It goes really high up, and it gives you all those sensations that you have when you really stress. Others as well, and adrenaline, and the ones that are in charge of keeping your heart on a healthy level. Otherwise, you just have a heart attack if there's no hormone pumping some stuff to bring you down and calm you down. That is your supply. Those are your drugs inside of you that keep you healthy. When you stress yourself up, you have a sudden, release of all these hormones. They're made with the food you eat. So if you always stress, you're always segregating these hormones. So all the food you're eating, all the good nutrition that you're giving to yourself is being wasted in hormones to keep you some sort of level, steady, stable. And then what happens? Well, the body is very intelligent. The body is going to try to keep you safe for as long as it can. If you're using all the nutrients of your food into these kind of things, then it's going to start taking from things that are not very needed in the body, like your hair, your skin, your teeth, your nails. This is one of the things that you always notice when you are stressed. Your hair starts falling, because there's no enough nutrients for everything. So these things are necessary. But if the issue remains, if you keep doing it for a long time, if you keep creating these high levels of stress in your life, it's going to start taking from things that are needed because it's not going to have a choice anymore. So then it goes your bones, osteoporosis, then you go into your lungs, then it goes into other areas, then some cells don't get all the nutrients they need, so they may become cancerous. It's all stress. It's all stress. Stress is also not helping you make the right choices when it comes to the right foods. So here's another example. This is something Maria told me, a nutritionist, and she was so clear with it. Imagine that when it comes to food, you need minerals. That's what vitamins are, vital minerals. We need minerals. This is why we're not thought to look into what kind of minerals our food has. Not so much protein and this and that, but minerals. You need minerals. So let's imagine the minerals or nutrients. Imagine that you're building a house, right? Your house being your body. Remember, your body is always reproducing. You have a new skin every 30 days. You have new bones every year. So your body is always building itself up constantly, right? Imagine you're building a house and you have your materials, which are your nutrients, your vitamins, or bricks and cement and all the stuff you need. And then you have your calories, and those are the workers. That's the energy that is going to build these blocks, no? Those are your employees, your workers. Now, if you don't have a good diet, if you're eating lots of carbohydrates and lots of empty calories and lots of fats and lots of things like that, you will have a lot of employees. You have a lot of workers sitting around your house, but no materials to work with because there's no vitamins, there's no nutrients. So what's happened? They just pile up like fat in your body and disease, illness, because it has mucus as well. So what you eat is so important to your mind and to your body. But also the levels of stress that you have are going to dictate whether that food is used in the right way or the wrong way. So before caring so much what you're eating, think about where the food is going. And think about if you maybe can be healthier, not by eating better food or by doing more exercise, but by learning to control your mind and give more space to things that are important and taking away from stress. That's going to make a massive difference in your process learning. Massive. See, some of the things that are related to, the brain symptoms, depression, anxiety, insomnia, fatigue, brain fog, memory issues, confusion, neurodegenerative diseases, and more. An unbalanced microbiome leads to inflammation and leaky gut, which slows the production of neurotransmitters and can affect many areas of brain function. We need the brain to learn Spanish, guys. We need 110% of our brain capacity to learn in a way that is not painful, that is not stressing us, that is not. So this is what I'm going to be asking you a lot, how you feel, and asking you to write that down, because we want to take advantage of feeling good to learn and knowing that sometimes we stress, something happened to us at home, there was something, and we are in the fly or fight state, then maybe we should do something else today. Take another approach to the learning process, because memory issues, confusion, neurodegenerative diseases, and things like that, the brain is not in the right place. Stress is not good for the brain or for the body. Okay, so stress, but poor nutrition, bad news for us. Serotonin is the drug that makes us the hormone that makes us feel good. It is made in the stomach. It needs to go to the brain, the pathway. And, if we don't give enough good nutrition to create the serotonin levels and keep us good, then we're in trouble. Serotonin is also related to sleep, which we're going to see now. So now we have the subconscious mind. This is what we really need to look at. Subconscious mind. That's our conscious mind above. This is our subconscious mind. Most of us is in the dark. Most of what we are is in the dark. In fact, I saw a post yesterday and it said, we are nothing but a printout of our subconscious programs. That's what it said. And it's true. It's true. It's everything that is happening important is happening in the subconscious. And we have no way of knowing it. What's with the subconscious mind controls all the systems in the body, even the nervous system, which is in charge helping us learn. Intelligent field that creates the body from a single fertilized cell. Intelligent field. It just knows. This is what we're talking about, like animal consciousness. The subconscious just knows how to do things. Literal and metaphoric. What it means, like, it takes everything literally, even metaphors. No linear, no distinction between past, present, future, as we said before, right? Vertical thinking. Movie, reality, equal perception. What does that mean? It means that the subconscious perceives things as a movie, as a reality, and it believes that anything that is projected in the conscious mind is true. So it acts accordingly to that. So the conscious mind is in charge of sending the subconscious mind more accurate information. But the conscious mind is the only way to absorb information is through the senses. And we know now that the senses can be deceiving sometimes. The things cannot always be what they seem. So that's when the subconscious mind, by empowering the intuition, we're empowering the way the subconscious mind absorbs information, thus creating a more accurate picture of reality, better to us, and being able to make decisions and do things that are way more positive for us than the movies the conscious mind is sending. This movie, so I'm not good enough. I'm too old to learn. I can do this. I will never do this. This is what you're telling yourself. And this is what the subconscious mind believes. So it's not helping you the way it should change the patterns that you want to change. The subconscious mind is always awake. It records and remembers everything since before birth. It keeps you from being overwhelmed by your senses. That is very true as well. It learns through habituation, discipline, the things we do. Like, remember I say, all left brain, it takes all the mental capacity until it shrinks, and it goes to the right side. That's habituation. Once you've done it enough, boom, right side takes it over and it's done. It's yours. You got it. It takes all messages literally. This is a little bit of, there's also a lot of truth behind humor, when you're making a joke like, I'm an idiot. Your subconscious mind knows that you're not joking, and you're saying to yourself that. It has no verbal language of its own. This is also important. The subconscious mind works through images and symbols. So, you know, it's hard to connect with the subconscious mind when it has no language that we can talk to. It works through symbols, through images. That's what dreams are so important, because that's when we can sort of look into our subconscious mind and see what it's showing us. Literally, what I just say speaks to you in your dreams. It is not logical, but it is emotional. It does a million of things at once. It's more powerful than the conscious mind. Yeah, because your subconscious mind right now is running. Your conscious mind is running it. Okay, it's running the systems that you have no control over, like breathing, digesting, circulation. It's controlling all that. It's so powerful. You couldn't do nothing without it. And at the same time, it's giving you enough energy to be conscious and talk and do everything else. So your subconscious mind is this uncharted territory where you have probably never been. It's scary at times because it's uncharted, it's new, but it has so much to give you. It's where your true self is. Then we talk about sleep, the importance of sleep. You know, why sleep is important. It repairs your body. Once you go into REM sleep, it starts repairing everything. So very important to do that. Improve learning and memory. We're gonna need that, right, guys? Lower stress levels, improves creativity, supports growth and development, maintains your immune system healthy. Hey, there's no wrong with sleeping 8 to 10 hours. Seriously, if you've been thought differently, especially women with their hormonal cycle, sometimes of the month we need that extra sleep. How can I sleep better? Go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. Avoid big meals right before bed. Exercise regularly. Turn off the computer, phone, and television. Keep your bedroom cool, quiet, and dark. To that, I will also add, if you have trouble sleeping or falling asleep, wear a blindfold. It really helps. What if I don't get enough sleep? It can cause increased anxiety, depression, or other mental health and problems. Cause irritability or to mood swings, cause headaches, weight gain, and poor vision. There's no downside to sleeping enough. Stages of sleep, well, we can step with that. And then the big one, meditation. Opens the door between the conscious and subconscious minds. There you are, it's your door. We meditate to enter the operating systems of the subconscious, where all of those unwanted habits and behaviors reside, and change them to more productive modes to support us in our lives. Meditation is hard to define. What is meditation? What am I supposed to be doing? There's so many types of meditations. If you're somebody that's struggling to start meditating, do movement meditation. When the body moves, it overrides the brain. It has all the attention because it's in movement, and we need to, the brain needs to protect and need to make sure it's safe. So when the body is moving, the mind will reside. The overthinking will stop talking so much and will focus on keeping the body safe. Balance, movement, blah, blah, blah. So it's hard to define meditation and how to do it. I would say if you want to learn meditating, the easiest way is what Osho always says: meditation is observing, it's observation. And you now have to do it actively until you learn how to observe all the time. Once you move from the critical mind to the observing mind, you will not have to sit and meditate again, unless you really want to, because you will be in a meditative state all the time. You will be an observing person. You will use your mind only to create, not to talk to you, not to criticize, not to narrate what's happening around you. You will be observing yourself, right? And that's one of the easiest way to start meditating is just to, for example, walk to the supermarket, and on your way there, just constantly think, I am walking. Do the dishes, I am washing the dishes. In your mind, just repeat that, repeat it. Then you forgo and drift away, come back, start again, celebrate yourself for coming back, and continue doing it. Be in the moment, vertical thinking. And when you're trying to study and it's getting difficult or your mind drift away, just take a minute and say, I am studying. I am studying and I'm studying. Everything else can wait. Okay, let's learn to bring the mind to a productive place. Ways to train the subconscious mind. This is exactly the three-dimensional program or way that I use to train the mind. I always start with the visualization. Visualization is a powerful tool to train your subconscious mind because it allows you to feel and experience a situation which hasn't happened yet, as if it were real. Visualize yourself, your goals, talking in front of people, being funny in Spanish, being creative, being able to say the words that you never thought you would learn, speaking in front of a crowd, speaking to your neighbor, writing a letter, talking to the electrician without any translators or help, feeling part of the community during the fiestas, whatever it is your goal. Visualize it, make it real, hold it in your mind's eye, and use it when you're losing confidence, when you're losing, courage, when you're losing the excitement to learn. Come back to that image. Come back to that image always. Precision affirmations, when you make a clear, definitive statement about yourself as if it is already true. Your subconscious mind takes over and will act in accordance with that belief. You need to know it's already yours, it's already true. And on top of that, you want to always make positive affirmations, not negative. Instead of saying, I'm not bad, you say I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, don't go with the no's, go with the yes. In the introduction I give you, there's already a list of affirmations that you can use, and affirmations are going to be always a part of a learning process, because it's the same thing as visualization. It's already yours. Affirm it. The power of words, the power of creation. Say it aloud with conviction, with belief. I love learning. I am very capable. I'm very intelligent. I can do this. I want to do this. Nothing can stop you. And meditation is a particular powerful brain training method because it transcends any form of conscious thought. What am I supposed to do when I'm meditating? I don't know. That's part of it. Just sit with that feeling of I don't know. Just sit with it. Sit with it in silence. You sit with it for long enough and the answers will come. But you have to just learn to do the hardest things in the world. Nothing. Schedule on your agenda nothingness and see if you can do it. See how hard it is to just sit with you in silence and do nothing. But if you can learn to do that, then you learn vertical thinking and everything is within your reach. And finally, we have awareness. This is the final slide. Awareness is about knowing the three parts of yourself, knowing the relationships that they have, that they hold, and making them rotate like a wheel to your advantage. Awareness is the middle point of all of this. It's where you become conscious of the unconscious, become conscious of the subconscious. It's where you have opened that door between the two. And now there's traffic coming and going. And what you're learning on the conscious mind goes in the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is also giving you answers, straight answers for the conscious mind to develop faster, better, stronger. So that's basically it. That is my introduction to how your mind works, how your learning process works, and how we can make it easier for you. And like I said, like I always tell my students, you can learn Spanish through mindfulness, or you can learn mindfulness through Spanish. I'm here to challenge you to do that as well, to embrace the idea that while you're learning Spanish, you might learn a skill that can help you with everything in your life. It can help you keep your mind and body young. It can help you heal trauma. It can help you, create more health, more energy within you, do things that you never thought you could, get rid of phobias and fears and overthinking and even physical issues. Mindfulness will help you with everything. And now we're talking also about bodyfulness, be aware of your body, listen to your body. When you sit in silence with your body, listen to it. See what things come up. See that if you have that pain or that ache or the thing that bothers you, try and think if it happens at certain times, when you mention something specific, when you're in certain state, like when you're hungry or tired or angry or sad. Just analyze yourself, because most of us are always just ignoring our own selves. We're just thinking that things are the way they tell us in the outside only, that if you want to learn something new, you have to put in an incredible amount of hours and efforts, and it's going to be hard and difficult. I'm here to tell you is what you want it to be, how you want it to be. But you have to do some things that are uncomfortable at first, like sitting with yourself, changing some habits. And most of all, realizing that most of you being is unknown to you. It's living in the shadows of the subconscious mind. And that's where all your power is, all your capacities is there. So you need to enter there. And we do that by actively being aware of ourselves, analyzing ourselves, talking to ourselves, listening to ourselves, every part of us, our bodies, our minds, but also all the rest that will come in the spiritual form, like messages, synchronicities, things that happen to you. It's all happening for you. And if your goal is to learn Spanish, or if your goal is to learn mindfulness, then put all the energy to work, all of your energy, and inside and outside, directly to that goal. You have decided to do it in 5 weeks. You have decided to give it a real good try. So now let's make it happen. Let's just put all the tools we have to work. I am sure, I am confident that you are going to see a massive difference, not just in your skill in your capacity to speak Spanish, but in how you conduct yourself in your life. If you haven't already taken on these practices, then you will notice the difference. You will see how you're much more calm, collected, kind to people. You smile more. And this is another thing. Your body has a tremendous amount of influence over your mind. When we talk about all the food we eat, right? Or we talk about this and we talk about that. But it goes beyond that. If, as we say, the subconscious mind doesn't know. It takes things literal. So if you're smiling like this face has a configuration, right? This muscle is in this position, these eyes are open, this is kind of like that. This is telling my subconscious that I'm happy, even if I'm not. Even if I'm not. Now, if I do this, I might be, maybe super okay. My husband does it all the time when he's cooking in the kitchen. He's having a great time cooking, but he's like this, chopping. And I said, relax your face, because your mind thinks you're angry. This is the configuration of an angry, stressed face. So it's just, throwing at you all these hormones and feelings and so just relax your face. If you're feeling stress, if you don't know how to change, just smile. Smile and laugh if you can. Laugh. Also, posture is important. When you are like this, throws back, face up, the natural flow of energy goes up and down your spine. Your spine is it's your core of life. It's where the electric impulses of your nervous systems are going through, moving everything, changing, your whole body. Sit up straight, chin up. You will see the difference. You are more positive, you are more engaged, you are healthier, you feel energized. And as taking more on the spiritual side, your crown chakra, all your chakras are aligned, they're directed up, and you're receiving that, exchange of energy from the above to the below constantly. So posture is important, very important, so important, so important. So yeah, well, I think that I cover everything that I wanted to say in this introduction on how all of this side of learning is so important to me. And I think that it's been important to my students too. I have noticed the difference when we do meditations and when we don't. The levels of attention change drastically. So I am just asking you to take that side of things seriously too, but do not do it with judgment, and do not do it if it's making you stress or if you're not enjoying it. Enjoy it, okay? Enjoy it. I know at first it's difficult because our minds and blah, 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 and all of this. I remember that I did so many practices to learn breath work, right? To learn to breathe properly. And I've done courses and techniques and read books about it. And yes, I was doing it. Every day I'll get up and do my breath work, and it was good. And I could see the benefits of it. Fine. And then one day, suddenly, out of the blur, I breathe. I breathe. I breathe properly because I knew it, because that breath was intoxicating. I just felt it go through my whole body. I felt drunk on it. And since then, it's been this amazing reliever all the time. That when I'm stressed, when I don't know how to calm my mind, I don't know how to do something, come back to my breath. Enjoy the breath, as if when you're very thirsty and you drink that glass of cold water in the summer, or that beer if you want, or when you're hungry and they put a plate of food in front of you that you want so much, the breath can be the same. The breath can be just what you need when you need it. And it's not going to be the first or the second or the third breath. It's going to take time to get it right, to know how to make it come down all the way to your abdomen, to your stomach, not just inflate your chest. So it's constricted by your ribs. The breath needs to travel through you. It takes practice. And it's like I said, I read books, I did techniques, I went to courses, I did it how they told me every time. I thought it was okay. And then one day, it just happened. I was breathing. And you know what changed really? What really changes the breathing is a subconscious act. The breathing is done by the subconscious mind. So we pushed it out. We pushed it out of the conscious mind. We gave the subconscious mind through history so much work. A lot of things that we used to do more consciously before, even the food, preparation of food, the growing of the food, the breath, the digestion, we pushed it to the subconscious mind. We forgot about it. And we've been breathing shallowing for the last our whole lives most of the time. So when you connect with your subconscious mind, when you do all this work to know it, to know what parts of yourself are not aware to you, they're not apparent to you, then you start bringing back things from the subconscious to the conscious. That's magic. That is what alchemy means. It's transmutation. It's a change completely of something that it was unconscious to something that now is conscious. And my breath became conscious. And I'm always aware of my breath now. This is what I was saying about the observing mind. I don't need to stop in the middle of my day and sit down and breathe consciously. My breath is always conscious, because if I'm not breathing correctly, I feel it. Or if I'm stressed and I need a relief, my breath comes to aid me. And I don't even have to think about it. Oh, you need to breathe better. No, I'm just calm myself down naturally with it. And that took practice. Of course it did, a lot of practice. But it's what we mean by getting high with our own supply. And a breath can be just as intoxicating as a food or a drink or a drug or anything you want. You just got to realize that. The more you breathe, the higher you get, the more oxygen. Oxygen makes you high, and you're just conscious of all that process that is happening inside of you. And you realize it's magical. Every breath is magical. It's the core that connects you to reality, like a lamp. What happens if you unplug a lamp? The light goes off. What happens if I put something here and disconnect my airflow? The light goes off. But if I put even more current going through, more light, more life, more awareness is created inside me. And that's what we want. And the breath is very important. So that's why part of our morning routine is the Wim Hof breath. There's different techniques for it. It could be a bit extreme for people that trying for the first time breath work. So I'll give some options, some more not so intense, but basically it's just breathing with awareness. And the secret to everything, especially the breath, but everything, is to do it with enjoyment. Is to try and enjoy, no forcing, never force. Just enjoy, just relax. Do what you can, how it feels good to you. But do it often. It's not forcing ourselves to do things that are uncomfortable once, twice, three times, and then dropping it forever, but rather do it our way, slowly, every day a little, until we can reach the way that we think or other people tell us is the right way, right? Okay, so I'm going to leave you now. I hope this was helpful to you. And as I say, if you have any questions or if you want to know further about other like nutrition, exercise, sleep patterns, just let me know. I am here for you. Okay, have a great day and I'll see you in class, huh? Bye.